Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the legendary Verified Investing YouTube channel or the Drew Wolfer channel, wherever it is that you're watching from, because we do stream this on the Verified Investing channel and my personal channel. We appreciate you. We stream it in simulcast, so thank you for watching because we would not have a platform without you. If you are here, it is because you want to keep your pulse on the gold and the silver and just the overarching metals markets. And if that's the case, then you are in the right place. The Golden Nugget is every Wednesday at 12:30 Eastern Standard Time. So I appreciate you for showing up, and so does everyone else at Verified Investing. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to first thank all the new people that are here this week. And we're going to give you a rundown of what we actually do. And we're going to thank all the people that show up every single Wednesday faithfully. Now, first and foremost, we are going to gauge gold. It means we're going to do technical analysis on gold. Then we're going to move to technical analysis on silver in the silver snapshot. Then we are going to get into our commodity compass, which tells you what is moving the gold markets this week. Then we have two special reports, which I'm not going to tell you what they are. You probably can guess what they might be, but in any case, Drew likes his, he doesn't want to spoil anything for you. So we'll just put it like that. Then we have our last segment, which is what we're going to talk about in the economic calendar that is coming up until you see me again next week at, 12:30 Eastern Standard Time. So with that being said, we will just get straight into the gold TA, and bing, bang, boom. As you can see, gold has had a nice little pump, okay? And what if I told you that you might have been able to predict this, right? So this is a channel that we've been talking about for a very long time here, okay? This upward sloping trend channel. We gave out a couple of trades last week. We said, look, you lose the channel, you short. You regain the channel, you bounce from the bottom of it, you long, right? And, did that happen here? Yes, it did. You would have actually gotten stopped out, right? But this is what we were talking about last week, was these moving averages, being under them was not what we wanted to see. We wanted to see a pump up above that 200 MA, which we are now getting. So we have reclaimed the 200 moving average and the support channel, back tested it, boom, and I'm going to show you what we actually have going on the charts. Now, obviously, once we lost this channel and we lost this level right here, this is where you could have taken a nice little scalp short, right? And if you did, you made a decent little chunk of change here before it eventually reversed on the JOLTS data that we will talk about here very soon. Now, why would you have known to get out right here, okay? And this is something that, you might not necessarily know, but this is what we teach inside of the Golden Opportunity, which is the training that I brought out in conjunction with Verified Investing. Well, what if I showed you this nice little trend line right here, and we went to the 4-hour chart so you could see exactly where it came from. By connecting these two swing lows, okay, you could have seen where that next swing low was going to be coming in. Okay, and it did. It bounced straight off of it perfectly. It was picture perfect bounce. That is why you would have taken your profits right here. Unfortunately, I couldn't tell you to take the profits because I only see you once a week on this show. But what if I told you there's a bullish pattern that is showing up right now? And that is the good old cup and handy, baby. Look at that. That's a beautiful, beautiful looking cup and handle. We're looking at probably, I would say, 33.45. Once we get above about 33.50, you get a confirmation candle, a back test, boom, you're blasting off. Here's your measured move. You're probably looking somewhere in this realm right here. If you were to blast off, you're going to come up, take out these swing highs, start working your way up to the next swing highs at about $3,450. So we got to get above 33.50, and there will probably be a pretty sizable move up. But that is what is happening in gold right now. That is your trade. You break above. If you're already in the trade, great. You have a great position. You set your stop loss down here, right? And I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about. You've got two different long positions here, right? You've got your long position that if you took it right here, once you reclaim the 200 MA, you're probably targeting right around up here. And you've got your stop loss set below the 50 and the 200. We also have a golden cross on the 1-hour chart where the 50, which is the blue line, is crossing above that 200. And again, you front ran that. So the previous golden cross right here, okay? So in any case, this is your first and then this is your second. If you're not in a trade right now, you can always get in on the break of the cup and handle, okay? And then, you know, pretty much same target up here to about 34.50. Bing, bang, boom. That's a larger scale move. You've got a 11x risk to reward ratio on this. Now, if you were to lose these moving averages again, this is not good news. This same short would be evident. This one right here, you lose this, and then you would lose this trend line. You would move your short down right here, okay? And you would want to take this short right over to here and say, all right, if we lose this level, essentially right here, this is bad news, right? And this is where we would want to be shorting. Now, let's get into the silver snapshot. Silver is still doing its thing. It is still going up, up, up. It is consolidating right now, but what I am also seeing is a nice downward sloping channel. And the good news, I know a lot of people are like, well, that sucks, downward sloping channel. The good news about downward sloping channels is, what do we know about downward sloping channels? Usually they break out, right? Usually they break up. Why? Because you can't just go down, down, down forever, because if you do, it goes to zero, right? So this is looking a lot like a bull flag, baby. This looks a lot like a bull flag to me. Boom, bang. And if we were to copy and paste this over here, I mean, this 1 hour or this 1 day bull flag, I think we're on the 4 hour chart. Yep, 4 hour bull flag. I mean, this could take us outside of that big parallel channel that we've been talking about for weeks. And, you know, we called it out down here. We said, look, we bounced from the bottom of this. We're going to be targeting the top. We're still targeting the top of it right now. If you're still in that trade, you're absolutely crushing it right now. You've got your resistance here at about 37.80 at the 1.618 Fibonacci extension. You've got your resistance here at about $39.40. And then we also have some nice little support here at about $34.67. So if you break above about the 36.40 level, as long as we stay here and we start closing candles, we're talking probably by about like Monday, something like that. If we're over here and we're outside of this channel, this is where this bull flag could be breaking out, okay? So that is great news for both gold and silver. Everything's looking pretty bullish, in my opinion. Okay, so now what I want to do is I want to get into the commodity comps, tell you everything that's going on. We're just going to bang through this. I've got this on my screen. If you know anything about me, I want to be cognizant of your time, okay? We spent a lot of time on technical analysis, but I want to talk about what's driving these markets, what's making this happen, right? Because that is something that we're teaching inside of the Golden Opportunity. And before we even get into that, here's my special announcement. I'm just going to get it out of the way now because I'm super excited about it. I'm sure that VI is super excited about it as well. The Golden Opportunity is open. For right now, there is special promo pricing, okay? It did officially launch to the public yesterday, okay? So I know that we brought it out last week and people were able to pre-buy it, okay? So if you bought on the pre-sale, you're an absolute legend. I appreciate you. And anybody that wants a discount, probably the only discount you'll ever get, I can't say that for absolute certainty, but you know, likely probably one of the best discounts you're ever going to get on this is being in early. Then go and check out the Golden Opportunity. It'll be linked in the description. This is where we talk about everything that moves the gold markets. It rings true across every single market though. All of my technical analysis, all of my trading strategies, all of that stuff that's not just fundamental based only solely about gold, all that's going to ring true for, doesn't matter if you're a scalp trader, swing trader, day trader, investor, doesn't matter if you are in the Forex markets, the metals markets, the equities markets, the crypto markets, whatever you're trading, however you're trading, all of this is going to ring true. So this is a training that's actually going to help literally anybody and everybody inside of the financial markets. Now, commodity compass. Investors are watching that U.S. fiscal deficit, okay? The Senate just passed Trump's tax and spending bill, the BBB, right? The big, beautiful bill. And it's creating some uncertainty. So that's why you're seeing gold pump up, okay? Secondarily, the U.S. is nearing a trade tariff deadline, okay? July 9th. Keep that on your calendar because increasing trade tensions, risk off is going to bring premiums inside of commodities right now. So focus is also now going to turn to the U.S. non-farm payrolls tomorrow. ADP employment today, which could shape the Fed's rate decision, okay? Now, the daily golden nugget, okay? And for this one, we're not going to do any charting, okay? I want to just want to give you a really quick breakdown. This is going to be called bullion basics, okay? And this is something that, again, we teach inside of the golden opportunity. These are just like really, really tiny pieces of what we teach inside of this like 14-hour training, okay? So literally the US debt dynamics are going to shape gold's role inside of our global economy, as well as the DXY, right? The dollar, the US dollar index. So this is going to be essentially, I'm going to explain to you why fiscal deficits matter. So we're going to take a look at the broader context just really quickly behind all of these investors turning to gold, which is a safe haven, right? Now, why are they doing that? Well, because the US fiscal debt now exceeds 36 trillion. That's trillion with a T, baby. Trillion dollars, okay? And interest payments are projected to top $1 trillion annually. And that's starting by the end of this year, okay? Amid that uncertainty, you're going to see gold pump, okay? You're going to see the dollar depreciate, okay? Why? Because our dollar isn't worth as much because we keep borrowing against it and printing more, okay? So gold is going to be your fiscal policy hedge, your inflation hedge, your currency risk hedge, okay? And your systematic instability and global political instability hedge, okay? So let's get into our special segments, which is going to be called the labor market lens. And if you remember, whenever I was doing the gold TA, gauging gold, you remember what I was talking about, the JOLTS data, okay? So for the labor market lens, we're going to interpret May's strong job openings and upcoming payroll reports and why that actually pumped gold, because it seems opposite, right? So May's JOLTS data report showed labor demand holding up with 7.769 million openings, okay? Meaning that there's openings in the job market, yet a slowdown in hiring, okay? So keep that, remember that I said that, right? Now markets are going to be watching the ADP data today and the non-farm payrolls tomorrow, okay? To see whether labor continues to soften. And you're probably like, Drew, you just said there was like over 7.7 million jobs open. Doesn't sound like it's softening. Well, I'm going to tell you why, okay? We're going to see what the impact of the rate cut timing comes in as well, okay? But the consensus expectations for the JOLTS report was a decline to a modest 7.3 million, okay? So obviously they came in and they beat that. But job openings, they surged over $374,000. So you're probably like, yeah, that sounds awesome, right? Hiring fell, okay, by over 112,000, okay? Which in the aggregate, it was 5.5 million and they were expecting over 5.6 million. Layoffs actually dropped, right? Meaning less people are getting laid off and fired, okay? To 1.6 million. They dropped by like 188,000. Now, the unexpected rise in job openings, it's reflecting, lingering demand inside of the jobs market, yet hiring slowing, that's suggesting caution by employers amid the external pressures that are coming in on a global scale, okay? That's why you're seeing gold pump. We had a positive jobs report, but you got to read the fine print. You have to read the fine print to be on the right side of these trades. Now, tariff talks. This is our last segment before we get into the economic calendar and tell you everything that's going to be happening before you see me next week for the Golden Nugget at 12:30 Eastern Standard Time. Now, tariff talks, okay? We have the Senate. We're going to talk about that first. Narrowly passing the big, beautiful bill, the BBB, President Trump's sweeping tax bill, right? $3.3 trillion inside of this bill in U.S. debt. Investors are reacting modestly so far. But that fiscal impact, it is going to support gold as a safe haven. As you can see in the chart, reclaiming its levels, reclaiming its moving averages, reclaiming its trend channels, taking out those supports that it flipped to resistance, and then what's called a pivot point, pivoting it back to support now, right? So at that same time, we do have the July 9th tariff reintroduction deadline. That's keeping trade uncertainty elevated. That's why you're seeing gold just being held up. It's almost being propped up by all of these uncertainties right now. So helping the other helper is going to be the US dollar going down. Okay, so when the DXY goes down, gold goes up. We say this every single week, and I'm going to keep saying it every single week. That way you can have the DXY on one side of your chart, gold on the other side, and you can watch that inverse correlation. So with that being said, what's on the economic calendar until you see me? Because you're going to know what's about to happen for the next week. That way you can, make some actionable, trades potentially, more than just the trades that I gave you, right? So today we have ADP employment change, private payrolls data, okay? We are expecting around 95,000 in the positive for jobs, okay? Then we have non-farm payrolls, okay? This is unemployment rate, average hourly earnings, the all-important Bureau of Labor Statistics, right? Now, the consensus is 115,000 to 129,000 net job additions, okay? Unemployment potentially rising to 4.3%. Then this is all tomorrow, right? Then we also have ISM manufacturing. So if it comes in hotter than that and there's less net jobs additions and there's higher unemployment, expect gold to pump. If it comes in line, gold might capitulate. If they come in and beat it, gold's probably going to go down a little bit. ISM manufacturing is tomorrow as well, and the services PMI, okay? Then we have the U.S. markets are closed on 4th of July, okay, which is Friday. So just be cognizant of that when you're making trades this week. Always understand the the federal holiday schedule, okay? Monday, we have our initial jobless claims, all right? This is weekly unemployment claims, okay? Now, this is more frequent, so is it going to move the market as much? Probably not, but it's something you need to be aware of. Then we have the tariff deadline, which is on the 9th. And the 9th, I believe, is when you will see me next, okay? 12:30 Eastern Standard Time. Then we have possible central bank speeches or Fed commentary around policy might be scheduled to see if we're actually going to drop those interest rates, okay? So, man, I mean, there's a lot of stuff that's going to go on in between the time that you sign off of this and the time that you see me next week. So seriously, tread these markets lightly, understand the things, the dynamics in the background that move these markets when you're getting into your trades. Consider getting into the Golden Opportunity where I teach you all of this stuff, literally, step by step, the whole way. Being there with you in a way that you can understand, something you can take your time on and learn at your own pace and in your own way, right? And because I can't fit it all into a 15 to 20 minute segment here. Even if you watched all the segments, you still wouldn't get everything that's inside of the Golden Opportunity because it is robust, to say the least. So with that being said, I appreciate everybody so much for showing up. Thank you for giving us a platform, for being the loyal people that you are. We appreciate you so much, and we will see you next week, Wednesday, 12:30 Eastern Standard Time for the Golden Nugget yet again, and I appreciate you all so much for showing up. Have a wonderful day.
Imagine waking up every day with freedom. No boss, no clock, just you, your charts, and profit stacking. That is the life of a verified pro trader, and it's exactly how I built mine, by learning to trade gold the right way. I've helped countless members start winning, and now it's your turn. This is your golden opportunity to trade like a pro, live like a boss, and take advantage of the gold super cycle that is transferring wealth like we've never witnessed before. So make this your golden opportunity.